Hey guys, you're listening to ChickFlicks with me, your host, Alexis Otang. I'm so excited to be back with another episode. And as you know, yesterday, which was Tuesday, January 23rd, the Academy Award nominations for the 96th Oscars was announced. So I am going to be going through some of the big categories, who was nominated, my thoughts, my opinions, all of that. As you know, I did this for last year's Oscars, and I'll be doing it again this year. So I'm not gonna do a long intro. I think the last thing I'll say is this little guy, he's gonna be my nice assistant. I will flip him depending on how strongly I'm feeling about some of these nominations, some of these snubs, some of these celebratory nominations too, because I'm like, oh my God, they got nominated. I'm so happy. He's gonna be my little helper. So, you know, if you see throughout the video he's being flipped around, you know why. Okay. So let's do a little bit overview. This is the 96 Academy Awards. As I have mentioned, the host is going to be Jimmy Kimmel. I actually really like Jimmy Kimmel when he hosts the Oscars. I think he does a great job all the time. I don't feel like he really says anything too offensive. Out of the Jimmys, he's one of my favorite. I love Jimmy Fallon. I love Jimmy Kimmel. Don't have any problem with them. So hopefully, you know, we're not going to have another Golden Globes moment with that host because that was awkward. Yeah, let's make sure our jokes about the films being nominated, the people being nominated, are tasteful. It's going to premiere on March 10th at 7 p.m. So mark on your calendars for the Academy Awards. Super, super excited. I will say 2023 was a year of really great movies. So many good movies. I know that not everything can be nominated. Not everyone can get a nomination. And this is the selectivity of the Oscars, the Academy Awards. But that doesn't mean I can't share my opinion on who I feel should have been up there, who I would have felt like is better to be there. So no more talking about general stuff. Let's get into the nominations. Okay, so I'm going to start with Best Animated Feature. All right, Best Animated Feature, we have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I've not seen every film in this category, but I have seen The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm not going to say about who I think I win a lot throughout this video. I will do my predictions for the Academy Awards when it gets closer. But for now, I will say that in these three films, I really did like those three that I saw. Elemental, I feel like they did not market it enough. And when they did market it, Disney, it was kind of misleading, low-key. I feel like it was kind of misleading. It was such a beautiful story. It was done so well. It looks so great. If you know a bit about what inspired the film, the director and main animator of the film, he wrote that inspired by his own love story with his wife. So it was such a good film. I actually saw it at summer camp when I was a camp counselor with my kids. And they were like, oh my God, ew, when they were doing the lovey-dovey, romantic, cute stuff. But I was eating it up. I was like, you guys don't know good films when you see it. Okay, this is great. So I loved Elemental. The Boy and the Heron. What did you expect? It was going to always be great. It was always going to be a good movie. This man knows how to make films. I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. Give me 1 second. Hayao Miyazaki. I hope I said that right. He's made banger after banger after banger. You know his films. You love his films. And, you know, he keeps saying he's not going to make any more, but then he comes back and he kills us. I wouldn't be surprised if he won. You know, Spirited Away is a lot of people's favorite animated film of all time. It's so deserving of all the awards. Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo. There's just so many good films he's made, and The Boy and the Heron is another addition to that stacked filmography. So it was such a great film. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, so good. You know, a lot of times with these sequel films in the Marvel universe, they're never as good. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I think, is a little bit better. It's so, so good. They killed it. The animation went crazy. The animation, the first film was amazing. But this one went crazy. How interactive. So many Easter eggs and cameos. I loved it. I loved the full thing. And I honestly, this is gonna be a tough race. I do think it's probably more between The Boy and the Heron and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I do want to watch Nimona and Robot Dreams as well to see like what the other two look like, but I'm really happy with everything that was nominated, and I have no qualms about what made it and what didn't. So, going into Best Original Song, we have What Was I Made For Barbie. We have I'm Just Ken for Barbie, It Never Went Away, American Symphony, The Fire Inside, Flamin' Hot, and Waza Hayes, I hope I said that right, A Song for My People, Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay. I'm surprised that Dua Lipa's Dance the Night Away did not make a nomination. I love that song. It is on repeat in my playlist. Dua Lipa just injects like ear cocaine into her songs because I'm addicted. I just listen to all of her songs on repeat all the time. Like she's one of those pop artists that like my friends who listen to more rock, alternative, indie stuff, they keep coming back to her music because it's just so good. And I'm surprised she didn't get a nomination. I really would have loved to see her up there. But I think in terms of the two songs that represent Barbie the most, What Was I Made For and I'm Just Ken are the best representation in the score song category for the films. What Was I Made For? Billie might just win her second Oscar, and I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad. Like, she previously won and had a nomination for No Time to Die in 2022. She won. I had no qualms about that. But if I do remember who else was nominated, there was somebody else I did kind of want to win. Let me see if I can look that up. But What Was I Made For is just so amazing. I cry every time I hear it. It truly represents the film. It truly represents what Margot Robbie, her whole journey in the film as Barbie. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to give away all my predictions, but I think it's taking it. I think What Was I Made For is taking it. And I really, really hope she does. I just loved it. It was so good. It was so amazing. I'm trying to see who won, who else was nominated for original song the year she won. Be Alive. Oh, Be Alive from King Richard. Beyonce Knowles Carter. I don't know why I said it like that. Beyonce sang this song. I was really rooting for her. And I was also rooting for Dos Ortigas from Encanto. I was also rooting for that. So, but I'm not mad that No Time to Die won. It was a really good song. And, you know, everybody loves Billie Eilish. But yeah, What Was I Made For? I listen to that song sometimes when I'm in my feelings and it makes me cry. So I do think it's taking it. If Just Ken wins over it, it's not gonna be surprising to me, but I am gonna be like, okay, what time are we on right now? Because y'all keep proving the message of this film over and over and over again, or the critique that the film is saying over and over again. But we'll get more into that later. So, getting into Best Adapted Screenplay, we have American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. This is a really stacked cast. I don't know who's going to take it. I really, really, really think that these are some of the best film screenplays we've seen throughout the year. I have no qualms about what was nominated. In my opinion, like, it's going to be a close race. I really enjoyed Barbie. I really enjoyed Oppenheimer. I was surprised. I didn't know if I was going to like Oppenheimer like that, but Christopher Nolan did that. I really did like Poor Things. I need to see American Fiction and The Zone of Interest, but I think when it comes to adapted screenplays, they got it right. They got it right. Going into Best Original Screenplays, I'm so happy to see May December on here. It's not even funny. I have been nothing about talking about May December. When I watched it in December, I literally called my friend that day and said, you need to watch this. It has literally like changed my perspective. I could do a whole like dissertation on May December and why it's so good, but I won't right now. But if y'all want that review, let me know, because I absolutely was like, and it wasn't even like, oh my God, I love the film like I love Barbie. I was watching that film, my eyes were glued to the screen, and it just enacted so many conversations I think we need to talk about in society. Its scope was so powerful. The message it was saying is so powerful. So I'm really happy to see it here. Anatomy of the Fall, so good to see it here. It was a really good film. If you haven't seen Anatomy of the Fall, you need to go see it. The Holdovers, so happy to see that on here. Maestro, Past Lives. Listen, Past Lives is literally in like on top of my letterbox. It might be going in like my favorite films on my letterbox, because it was that good. Talk about a film that makes you think about life. Think about romance, love. So this is a category that's stacked. I don't know who's gonna take it, but I'm honestly rooting for all of them. All of them, I'm rooting for all of them. Okay, so getting into one of our categories that's gonna have me on my soapbox: Best Supporting Actor. Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Where's Charles Melton? I'm sorry. I think he deserved the supporting actor nomination. I am so sad to not see him here, because that performance was chilling. It brought me to tears. I will say this. The actors on Riverdale were never bad actors. It was always the material they were given. Like, you try to make some of the shit they came up with in that script sound good. It's not easy. Okay? And it was even low-key a little decent. Like, I feel like if they would have given it to just any other person who was like a half-ass actor, they wouldn't have been able to at least sell it a bit. Like, I wasn't buying what they were selling, but hey, I was at least looking. I was like window shopping. Most of us were window shopping. But in May December, oh my God, he was so good. There is a reason why so many critics were like, this is an Oscar-nominated performance. It screams the Academy Award. So to not see him on here is just so disappointing, because I feel like this is a role I definitely feel like I should see here. I'm not mad at any of the other people who are nominated. There's nobody here where I think, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't think they should be here. But I feel like Robert De Niro's had better performances. I know Robert De Niro is literally like the grandfather of actors in films. Like, we all respect him. He's amazing. Every time he hits that screen, he steals the show. But I think this was a stacked category. I think if I had to switch someone out, I might choose Robert De Niro to put Charles Melton in. Or I just feel like, can't we just add Charles Melton in there? Like, why can't we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6? Why can't we? Because he was so good. But getting into the other performances, of course, Ryan Gosling, I knew he was going to get nominated for Barbie. Like, I know. It was a good performance. I'm not going to sit here and act like I did not enjoy his performance. It's really good. I loved it. It's Ryan Gosling. He was born to play Ken like that. So, no, I'm not mad at it. And I really, really did like it. But we're going to get to why it stings that he got nominated and somebody else didn't a little bit later. Sterling K. Brown. I love Sterling K. Brown, so I'm so happy to see him here. Robert Downey Jr. He's been winning a lot of these prefecture awards. And I think he really has a great shot at taking it. And he was amazing in Oppenheimer. Like, he is such a great actor. He constantly shows that, you know, Iron Man isn't the only suit he can wear. He can do other genres. He can thrive in other roles. And if you ever doubted that, go watch Oppenheimer. But yeah, I'm just really sad to not see Charles Melton. God, that kills me. All right, getting into Best Supporting Actress. Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer. Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple. American Ferrera, Barbie, Jodie Foster, Nyad, Davina Joy Randolph, The Holdovers. A really good cast of people here. I did not think America Ferrera was gonna get the Barbie nomination. I'm so happy to see that she did get it. She did amazing. She did really great. Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, killed it. Daniela Brooks, I didn't think she was gonna get the nomination, okay? Some of these other award shows have not been giving The Color Purple its flowers. Taraji P. Henson, her not being nominated, I think she would have, I don't know if she would have been in Best Supporting Actress or Best Lead Actress. Because sometimes, like, it feels like it's obvious, but sometimes these films will put people in different categories because they feel like they have a better shot. And maybe that's what happened here. Maybe they put her in a different category, think she have a better shot, and that didn't happen. Because with Judas and the Black Messiah, Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya were both in Best Supporting Actor. And that made no sense to me because who was the lead of the film then? Are you telling me there was no lead in that film? That's crazy. But it's not surprising to me if they nominated her in a different category than what we felt like she should have been. Because also, when it came to the Golden Globes, May December was nominated in the comedy musical category. And I don't think, in my opinion, May December is not. Low-key is a psychological thriller, if you're asking me, because it played with my mind. Every time I heard that score, my ears were like, oh my God. But getting into Best Supporting Actress, I'm really happy here. I'm really happy to see the people I see. I think they did amazing. Each of these films, please go see. It's so good. We have a lot of first-time nominees in this category. I think they're all first-time nominees. Emily Blunt, Daniela Brooks, America Ferrera, Jodie Foster, Davina Joy Randolph. Yeah, they're all first-time nominees. That's crazy. In Best Supporting Actor, Ryan Gosling, yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them have all been nominated prior to this. And as you know, Ryan Gosling was nominated for Half Nelson and La La Land previously. So congratulations to all of them being Academy Award nominated actresses now. And I'm happy to see all of them. Okay. Whew. Let's get into Best Actress. Let's just rip it off like a Band-Aid. Or should we start with Best Actor? We can start with Best Actor, because I don't really have any problems with that one either. Bradley Cooper, Maestro, knew that. If you've been, like, the Golden Globes, a lot of these were obvious to me. Coleman, Domingo, Rustin, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction. None of these are surprising to me. Very happy. Any snubs? I don't think I know any snubs, low-key, for this one that I can think off the top of my head. Let me look in my notebook on here. Yeah, in Best Actor, like the ones I know. Oh, I know. Leonardo DiCaprio. What? That, I was forgetting it. Leonardo DiCaprio. You're not nominated. I'm surprised Leo didn't get a nomination. Brandon Fraser didn't get a nomination. I'm surprised. Jesse Plemons. Is that his name? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jesse Plemons. Killers of the Flower Moon, Erasure. Leonardo did really good. I'm really surprised because the Oscars love nominating Leo. Like, that's the joke, right? Y'all love nominating Leo. But you guys don't give him the award. Like, so him not even getting nominated, that's crazy to me. I'm like, what in the world? But I'm really happy to see Coleman Domingo. Like, I didn't think he was gonna get it. So to see him get it, I'm like, hey, I'll take my wins where I can, because there was a lot of losses when we get into these next two categories. Let's talk about it. Best Actress. Okay. Annette Bening, Nyad. Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. I am so happy. I should have also done this for America Ferrera. I forgot. Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. I know that's right. First ever Native American woman to ever be nominated. I know that's right, okay? I think in any category, low key, but definitely in Best Actress. I know that's right. Took y'all 96 years, but finally, right? Sarah Hewler, I hope I said that right. Anatomy of the Fall, or Anatomy of a Fall. Carey Mulligan, Maestro. Emma Stone, Poor Things. Emma Stone is beloved by the Academy Awards. She's been nominated 2 times in supporting role, and this is her 2nd time in Best Lead Actress. She was Sam in Birdman. She was Mia in La La Land. She was Abigail in The Favorite. And she was nominated for that. And now she's nominated for Poor Things. Emma Stone. So love. This would be the perfect list if we weren't missing Greta Lee for Past Lives and Margot Robbie for Barbie. Okay, guys, what are we doing here? Let's start with Margot Robbie. Why? What did Margot do to deserve this? Okay. She carried that film on her back. And delivered she gave life to a doll that sometimes has been made the butt of the joke, that sometimes has been made a derogatory statement towards women, just sit there, be pretty like a Barbie, dumb bimbo, blonde Barbie, right? She gave life to a character, created meaning through her character as Barbie, touched so many girls across the nation, seeing ourselves in Barbie, feeling like we're not good enough. America Ferrera reached us with her monologue, but Margot was us in the way that we felt like her, never feeling good enough, feeling like we've done everything we could and it's never enough. And the critique that film was saying, to then prove it again by only nominating Ryan Gosling, is just so sad. It just breaks my heart. What more could she have done? I don't think there was anything more. And to just not see her nominated, it breaks me. Especially when everybody else in this film is getting celebrated. And let me tell y'all right now, some of y'all who are coming for America Ferrera for being nominated, put down your swords, because take out the lights, put them out, because y'all are hating on the wrong person. Y'all are throwing criticism towards the wrong person. She's in a different category, and she is just as much another staple of that film. This film is not done without America Ferrera and Margot Robbie. And that's not to say that Ryan Gosling isn't a pillar, but even he himself said that. Let me see if I can read his what he said about his nomination and Margot's snub, because it was powerful. It was so powerful. I am extremely honored to be nominated by my colleagues alongside such remarkable artists in a year of so many great films. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm incredibly honored and proud that it's for portraying a plastic doll named Ken. But there's no Ken without Barbie, and there's no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, the 2 people most responsible for the history-making, globally celebrated film. No recognition would be possible for anyone on the film without their talent, grit, and genius. To say that I'm disappointed that they are not nominated in their respective categories would be an understatement. Against all odds, with nothing but a couple of soulless, scantily clad, and thankfully crotchless dolls, they made us laugh. They broke our hearts. They pushed the culture and made history. Their work should be recognized along with other very deserving nominees. Having said that, I am so happy for America Ferrera and the other incredible artists who contributed their talents to making this such a groundbreaking film. Well said, Ryan Gosling. You said it. And maybe people will listen if he says it. I think he also acknowledges that, like, he shouldn't have to say this. Like, y'all should already know this, but maybe because of the way the world works, until I say something and use my privilege and platform to say this is not right, people will finally. And you know what? People were also pointing it out way before that. I don't know what the thought process was. I'm so sad. But Margot, you know, if you were ever come across this by God's mean, you deserved it. You touched so many lives, and you have done something that I think has cemented you as one of the best actresses in our generation. And the Barbie film is something I think I will constantly go back to and adore for what it did for women to finally, like, it was such a community that was brought with this film. It let us be little girls again. It let us be powerful in our femininity and who we are as women. And I love this film. Can't say more. Going on to Greta Lee. She stays like this because Past Lives is so good. And to not see Greta Lee, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so sad. I think she 100% deserved a nomination. That film is another one that just tugs at your heartstring. It opens up your perspective. It's such a beautiful film. And everybody I know who likes film, who just watches film as a hobby, who just is like, yeah, I'll go see a film. Everyone who's seen Past Lives, wherever you fall on the spectrum of being a film bro or whatever, everyone has loved it. Everyone has raved about, oh my God, this is such a good film. So make it make sense to me, because it doesn't make sense to me. And now let's get into the other. Best Director. It stays like this. It stays like this when we talk about Best Director. Actually, no. I'll change it for this because we have a woman nominated in the Best Director category. Justine Triet. Good for you. Anatomy of the Fall is really good. And she did, she won a Golden Globe for Best Adapted Screenplay. So I'm really happy. I hope, you know, I'm rooting for women. She takes home the Best Director. That'd be killer. We have Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest. Yorgos Lanthimos, I don't remember how to pronounce it. Poor Things. 8-time nominated director. 8 times nominated. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Would you believe this is only his 2nd nomination? Crazy. Martin Scorsese's Killer of the Flower Moon. His 10th nomination, making him the most nominated director of all time. I'm not going to sit here and acknowledge that these men have done amazing things, that they are amazing directors, that I'm going to give them their flowers, because Killers of the Flower Moon was amazing. Oppenheimer was amazing. Poor Things was amazing. Even The Zone of Interest was good. But we are not going to sit here and act like Greta Gerwig did not just make film history. That's what we're not going to do. You're not going to fool me, okay? She's the first female director to hit $1 billion at the box office. I don't think Barbenheimer would have happened with any other film. If you replace Barbie and you put any other film and you put Oppenheimer, it doesn't happen. But if you keep Barbie, you change Oppenheimer, I feel like it still could have happened. I definitely feel like it would have just been Barbie whatever. You put any of these other films that are nominated here, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Barbie Man. I feel like without Barbie, Barbenheimer is not happening. There's not going to be like this push to go to the films. The soundtrack that was created for this film, the story, none of this happens without Greta Gerwig. And to not see her on here when she's achieved something that not a lot of directors get to do in their lifetime is crazy. Especially when you see that a lot of these directors, they've been nominated so many times. I don't think it's crazy to replace them with Greta. Another one, Celine Song. I'm gonna go back on that. Past Lives was so good. I don't get it. And it's really discouraging because do you know how many girls out there want to be directors, but they're constantly seeing that the film industry is dominated by men in every single way when it comes to the pay gap, especially when it comes to women of color. And when we see at award shows that, what more did you want Greta Gerwig to do? What more? You're telling me if it would have done this, if it would have been like this, if maybe if she did this instead, she would have snubbed that nomination. it's the most meta thing in terms of Barbie, what has played out here. And, you know, I don't mean to be so harsh on the Academy Awards, but I think it needs to be said. I'm not going to mince my words here. It's really disappointing as a fellow woman in film to not see Greta Gerwig and Celine Song up here. It is so sad. It's so disheartening. And it's discouraging, quite frankly. Because it's like, what if it's me, what else do I have to do? What could she have done different? You make $1 billion at the box office, start a whole phenomenon of people to come see your film, touch so many lives, constantly people saying that this. I truly believe that in film school, people should study Barbie because there's just so many things that it critiques, that it does well, that it does. It's such a good film. Same thing with Past Lives. It needs to be analyzed in film. I don't know. That's just me. I hope Greta knows that even with this, people truly know how amazing she is, and that this film is not something that will ever fade. Same thing with Past Lives. Celine Song, you've truly created a masterful piece of work that I think will live on. You've touched so many lives. You've created just something that can never be replicated. So I'll leave my piece there. And let's get into Best Picture. And you know what's crazy? Is that the same films that I'm being like, I don't see their director up here, they're nominated for Best Picture. So you can say that the movie was good, but you can't say that they deserve the. I feel like if your film is nominated for Best Picture, you should automatically get a directing credit, because the director is the captain of that ship. If it's not good directing, it's probably not going to be a good film. 9 times out of 10, it's not a good film. I don't think anyone can disagree on me with that. For Best Picture, we have Best Picture, I'm seeing all the films I want to see except for one, but we'll change him back. American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killer of the Flower Moons, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. A lot of these films, their producers have gotten credits for other films they've produced. Greta Gerwig is now 3 for 3 in her films produced. She's always been nominated for Best Picture. Lady Bird was nominated for Best Picture, Little Women, and now Barbie. You already know Martin Scorsese, he's had a bunch of films nominated. Most recently, I can't remember what the most recent film he had, but Wolf of Wall Street, one of them. Christopher Nolan, I'm trying to see what the last film he had. Academy. Nominations, the last, Dunkirk and Inception for Best Picture. Yeah, I knew it. I was going to say Inception, but Dunkirk comes before that. The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh, I already said, yeah. Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. I'm seeing a bunch of films on here that I'm happy to see. One that I would say that I wish, I'm not going to turn them over. Maybe I will, because I'm a little salty. May, December. But you guys already know, I love that film. I would have loved to see it nominated. But one thing I am happy is that you guys might have not given Margot Robbie a nomination for Best Actress, but she gets a producing credit. If Barbie wins, she's getting an Oscar because she has a producer credit. And now I really want Barbie to win. I'm not gonna lie. My prediction, if it's based off how some of these other award shows are going, it might be Oppenheimer. But we'll see. I need to see a couple more award shows happen before. Because right now, the early thing is saying Oppenheimer. But with these nominations coming out, the tides could change. Because it would not surprise me if, when it comes to voting for who wins, people are like, really? Barbie did not get the best lead actress, best director, it has to win best picture. I will not be surprised if that is the effect that happens because of these nominations. And I wouldn't be mad at Past Lives too. Okay, not gonna lie, best movies of the year in my opinion that I watched. Any snubs that I didn't talk about actually come in best original song. I didn't mention this. Olivia Rodrigo for Hunger Games song Birds and Snakes. I'm really surprised. I'm in the trees, I'm in the breeze, my footsteps on the ground. I really, really liked that song. I thought she might have at least snagged a nomination. But to each their own. And yeah, guys, those are my thoughts. So overall, what am I with these nominations? Can I do him halfway? Because I'm happy to see Lily Gladstone. I'm happy to see Davina Joy Randolph. I'm happy to see Emma Stone, America Ferrera, Ryan Gosling, Billy. I'm happy to see a lot of these. But there are people who are left off here who I just cannot ignore. Taraji P. Henson. The Color Purple. Where is The Color Purple? The Color Purple was so good. Halle Bailey with now for the first time from the Little Mermaid movie. There's just so many people who I was like, really? Really? Leo. Again, I gotta throw, I'm Leo. I love Leo. Acting wise. And I love him too. Like outside. Just a couple things. I'm like, hey, but what are we doing here with some of these snubs? This was a crazy snub year. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. But it's nice to see a best supporting actress, a best supporting actor, a best actress, a best actor that's diverse. It is not just white people. We have a very diverse list of nominations. So there's wins within these nominations. There's also big losses. Overall, I'm pretty happy with some of these nominations. I can't say I'm very happy because some of the big snubs are really getting to me. But like, I see where they're going. For everything best actress and best director. I see where they're going. And best supporting actor. Okay, but let's get into my intro. I always say intro when I'm doing this. Okay, let's get into my outro. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Please comment below on whatever platform you're listening on. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me your honest thoughts about the nominations, how you felt. I remember waking up and seeing the nominations. I could not believe my eyes. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. But please, if you really enjoyed ChickFlicks, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're watching this on YouTube, Simply Alexis, or, follow my podcast on Spotify or SoundCloud. Please repost, please share the word about my podcast and my show. If you like it, rate it, give it 5 stars, do all of that. Y'all already know. If you want to follow me, of course, my profiles will be linked at the end. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put a graphic right here of all of my public profiles. Follow me on TikTok. I'm on there. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on everything. I have my own profiles and my show's profiles. Make sure you never miss what's going on with the ChickFlicks. I am very active on TikTok. I'm constantly making content surrounding films. Some people say I'm really funny and I have really great takes. So you might want to follow me on there. And yeah, guys, I hope to come up with another episode soon. But until then, this is Alexis signing off of ChickFlicks. You guys have a good one. Bye.